Yeah, I'm here to share a bit about a personal journey of mine over the last 10 years as a principal, because we do work in a profession in a field that is really hard to be healthy in that. And I started my journey 10 years ago as principal of Kent Elementary School, and I live in Aldergrove, and so I was commuting out there. And one of the first things that was said to me was, the principal is the first one to get to the school and the last one to leave. And that stuck with me because it was a message to me that I need to be the busiest, I need to work the hardest, and I need to be there the longest. And at the time, I was able to do that. My wife works evenings, and so I didn't have anybody at home with me. And so I did that, and the commute that I was taking out there was almost an hour both ways. So I was spending a lot of time at work, a lot of time in my car. But I mean, the picture on the screen there is Mount Shem, and I got to see that every day. And so it was beautiful going to work, and I had time to reflect and have some downtime. But then we welcomed twin daughters, and that changed a bit. I don't know if you have twins, but yeah, I haven't slept in 7 years. and it really changed my view on that whole work-life balance, because now that commute, every moment of that, well, not only it was not a looking up at Mount Shem, it was a battle with my eyelids, but it was every moment in that car was a moment that I couldn't be with my kids. And I didn't have a wife at home because she was working, but it was every moment was there that I wasn't with my kids. And so after 3.5 years of commuting with children at home, I decided to apply to the Langley School District, which is in my home school district. And I was successful in application, and my commute went from almost 2 hours a day to 25 minutes total a day. And way better, way better. And I was able to zip home before a PAC meeting, come back. I was able to have way more dinners with my kids. Everything was going really well. The challenge with this is when it came to the Langley School District, there are so many opportunities for professional learning, to be part of these committees that really tap into my strengths and energize me. And so what I found was that there was so many opportunities that my commute was shorter, but I was getting home later and later and later. And we had hired someone to come in and look after the girls, and it was so easy for me to text her and say, hey, I'm going to be another half hour. Is that okay? And so it crept up, and eventually it became this sort of, I'd get home and just give them a kiss goodnight before bed. And I missed a lot of dinners during that time. So when this opportunity came up from the Langley School District to be part of these wellness evening sessions, I thought, you know what, do I need more evenings in my life? Do I need more evenings spent away from my family? And I talked to a few people in our school, and we decided as a team that maybe we could model wellness, and maybe these 4 nights would actually benefit far beyond our just those 4 nights there, and we could model what a healthier and more well staff could look like. And so we did these sessions, and you know what, I got to be honest, the sessions were awesome. The sessions were truly, truly great. But this year has been tough. This year has been tough with a teacher shortage. And so I have taught more this year, not scheduled, but you don't have a TOC, we don't have a teacher on call, so I'm teaching. And so a lot of the things happen at night. So my job normally would take place before 3 o'clock was now starting at 3 o'clock. And because my wife, we actually had a son in September as well, so when my wife was off work, she was home. So I decided, okay, well, maybe I can stay a little bit longer, get this work done, and basically be home to help raise my son and my daughters. And ironically, after the November wellness session, was about till 7 o'clock, so by the time I got out of there, 7:30, I didn't get home till about 8 o'clock. And it was normal for me to come home and not after dinner, have missed dinner. So I walked in, and like normal, there was food that was left for me, and I could put it together and everything. And that was, again, something that would happen. And my kids were in this state, well, they still are, in a state of fancy. Everything was fancy, and so they love to set the table. And like, I know that's not going to last forever, so we're like embracing that. And so, but they set it up really fancy. And so they got the placemats, they got the napkins, they've got the plates we're only supposed to use when, like, Santa comes or... and they're able to use that. And so they also put name tags on that, right? And so I get home, and there would be Dad and Mom and all that sort of... It was awesome. But this night, I got home, and I put my food together, threw it in the microwave, and sat down. And I looked at my placemat, and I just sunk. Because instead of where it says Dad all the time, it had said, maybe Dad. And until you went, I get emotional. But I know that the intention was good. The intention was, maybe Dad was coming here. But I'd gone from an expectation of being home to dinner to being a hope. And I had gone from Dad to maybe Dad. And all of these lessons that I was learning and this wellness thing were really nothing compared to that lesson for me there. So in that moment, I had to make some choices, and I had to do some deep thinking as I'm sitting at the table by myself. The kids are in bed. My wife is with her son, and I'm thinking about this maybe Dad, because a lot of what I do as a principal, I have to do, but there's a lot of it that's a choice. A lot of what I do after 3 o'clock is a choice. So I don't have to stay to finish that one last email or hand in that one last document or make that one last phone call. Those are choices that I can make at another time. But I'm never going to get back today with my kids. I'm never going to get back tomorrow with my kids tonight, and I need to get home. And that was a huge, huge lesson for me. And when I was complaining to a friend of mine who's a superintendent, Chris Kennedy, about my job, about how busy it was, we use that term all the time, but how overloaded I was. And he said, well, you signed up for this. It's your choice. How are you going to respond? And I hate it when he says that, but it's right. He's right. So how do I respond? How do I make this impossible balance thing possible? And some of the things that I have done are say yes less. So there's so many things that I want to do, but I can't do it all. So what do I say no to that I really want to do? How do I respond when someone says, and I'm on my way out, and someone says, you got a minute? Because it's not a minute. It's 30. Especially for some. You know who they are. But it's that question, how do I respond to that? So instead of responding to saying, yeah, I got a minute, I'll say, actually, I really got to pick up my kids. But I want to follow up with you. Can I call you later tonight? Can we make an appointment for tomorrow? So all of those things have really, really helped me. How do I respond to the term, how are you doing? Because so often I would say, oh, busy. What the heck does that mean? Right? We're all busy. And we can't wear that. Dean Chareski says, we wear busy like a badge of honor. And we got to stop doing that. We actually need to slow down. So instead of saying busy, I say, well, actually, I'm well. And I'll tell you why I'm well, and I'll say that. Because going back to that first person that said to me, you've got to be busy if you're a principal. No, we don't. If we want to create change, we got to slow down. And there are many other things that have helped me to create this wellness for me. And one of the big ones is respecting and protecting not only my family time, but the family time of others. So my phone is like, I don't know if you have a dog, but when you kick the dog dish and the dog comes running, that's like me when my notifications go off on my phone. I have a problem. I know that. So I have taken all notifications off my phone. Why do I need to be notified if someone says something on Twitter or Facebook? Who cares in that moment? So I've taken all the notifications off my phone. I have taken off my work email off my phone. There's no reason that when I'm with my family that I need to check my phone, because I will for my work email, because then my mind goes somewhere else. So I've done that, and this is stuff that I've done. I'm also our superintendent, Gord Stewart, has said to all principals, do not email between 5 o'clock Friday night and Sunday at 7. And it has been awesome. I used to go for Sunday night, open up my email, it'd be 50, and now there might be 2 or 3. Right? So there's so many things that we can do. And also with Outlook now, there's a send later option. So if I'm working, I don't have to send that at night. because it doesn't mean my teachers are working or my staff are working. I don't want to disrupt their family time. So we can respect those things. And all of this comes back to that understanding that we need to have that balance between work and life. At our school, we've done a lot of things based on these wellness things, but one of the big things is focusing on what Sean Aker talks about. He says that you're not going to be successful unless you're happy, right? Happy people don't come from success. Success breeds happiness. So we've talked about that. We focus on gratitude. I want our school to be healthy. In order to do that, we need to be happy. And a good way to do that is to show gratitude. So what have we done? We've done some things like we have every staff meeting. We start with our little man there who does the yes, and we do what went well. 5 minutes, talk about what went well. And basically what's happening is teachers have gone from silence, they don't want to brag, to, oh no, hey, this cool thing happened. It's not bragging, it's appreciating. It's showing gratitude. You're grateful for what's happening in your classroom, in your life. We've done a gratitude wall. It's simple. I'm not very artistic. It's a whiteboard. And people are actually thanking others on there. The first time I put mine up there and then no one did anything, I was like, but now people are doing it. People are writing gratitudes up there. We're making appreciation cards. My job is to make it easy for you to thank people. So I can make these cards and make it done for you. It takes 1 minute, and a handwritten note can be so powerful. We had a staff member anonymously gave a personal appreciation note to every single staff member. And to know that you put a lot of effort in an area and into something and have that acknowledged by a staff member, meant the world. And you could just feel it through the whole school that day. People laughing, people had extra bounce, people were comparing, and like a little competition going on, who got the better one. It was really fun with that. We've also challenged people to have a gratitude journal. And for me to write it, it just wasn't my thing. It didn't work for me. I tried it, it flopped. But an app, it worked. And I've done it for 50 days now. I hit the 50-day mark straight. And basically, it's 3 things I write down at night. And the best part of it, I can put a picture in there. So it's like an ongoing, and you can look back, and you can actually archive it and all this sort of stuff. So it's called Zest. I know there's a million. I did a lot of research on that, and I typed it in Gratitude Journal, and that was the top one that came up. So works. So you don't have to use that one, but that one works for me. It's also filtered down to students. So our students, our staff are doing it with our kids. So instead of kindness cards or gratitude cards, they're adding and thanking other staff members, thanking other teachers. I got thanked for stuff I didn't know kids were noticing. We had a teacher that did an exit strategy, so your exit slip to leave the day were gratitude notes, so that they surrounded the door with gratitude notes as they left. And we had our PAC president, PAC co-chair, that created this We Love James Hill. So every student had the opportunity to write something about what they love about our school and what they're thankful for at our school. So it starts with the staff, and it filters right down to our students and our families. So are we there yet? Have we arrived? Have we got that stamp, you are well? I don't know. But what I do know is there is a huge shift, a huge difference. There are more smiles. There's more positivity. There's more laughter, more energy. The conversations in the staff room have changed significantly. Yes, there are still times to vent, but there's overwhelmingly positive conversations in our staff. Have I arrived at wellness? Am I balanced? Well, I don't know. I don't know if we ever get there, but we always strive for that. But I do know it's made a difference, because just this week alone, 3 different staff members on 3 different days said, Chris, it's 5 o'clock. You need to go, because I need to be home at 5:15. Yeah, that's my staff. And what I do know, too, is it's making a difference at home. Because a few weeks ago, I got home, and this note was on there. It wasn't... It wasn't a maybe, Dad. It was, I'm happy you're coming home for dinner. And this is what it's all about. This is what it's all about. You are never going to get these moments back with your family. Work will always be there, and it'll still be there tomorrow morning, but your kids won't be. So if you have kids, if you have family, you have friends, make that commitment. If you're a principal, make that commitment to your staff that you are going to do this, model this, because it's when these moments come up that I get to be no more maybe Dad, simply Dad, and I get to see moments like this. Thank you.